Dodds with the CTV News Update. County officials say COVID-19 numbers are trending in the right direction, meaning the county can start easing some restrictions. At a press conference this morning, Angela Osserbrook said the number of coronavirus cases has been declining steadily since January. The positivity rate is at 4.3%, down from 7% a month ago. 100,000 Prince Georgians have received one dose of the vaccine. 50,000 are fully vaccinated. Osserbrook says it's time to reopen cautiously.
Starting on Friday, March 12th at 5 p.m., we will increase the capacity limit for all businesses and other establishments to 50% of maximum capacity. This includes, but is not limited to, movie theaters, gyms, indoor dining at restaurants, banquet halls, receptions, and meeting rooms and houses of worship. In addition, indoor private gatherings not otherwise specified are limited to a maximum of 20 people. Outdoor gatherings are limited to a maximum of 50 people. I want to remind everyone that at these businesses and establishments, it is still required that you will wear a mask, practice social distancing, and other safety protocols and guidelines we have put in place to keep our residents safe and our employees safe.
Officials say the county's mass vaccination site at the Sports and Learning Center will be closed for maintenance from March 13th through the 28th. For more information, go to the website on the bottom of your screen. In other news, Congress passes the American Rescue Plan, which will bring some much-needed relief to states, small businesses, and residents. More than 2.5 million Maryland households will get direct payments, plus the child tax credit and earned income tax credit will both expand. In addition, vaccination efforts will also be ramped up. Senator Chris Van Hollen says the measure makes strategic investments in the hardest-hit families and small businesses.
It also contains lots of important economic relief. First of all, for workers and families, individuals in the eligible income ranges will get $1,400 payments. That's on top of the $600 payments from December. The child tax credit is a very important feature of this bill. It's a $3,000 child tax credit. It will benefit over 1 million Maryland children and lift 54,000 Maryland children out of poverty. And then, of course, we extend the unemployment insurance through the first week in September at the $300 a week. More help for small businesses, and very importantly, for local governments. Prince George's County government will get $176 million to help its frontline workers and help with its own emergency response efforts, and every municipality in Prince George's County will also get some help for its citizens.
President Biden is expected to sign the legislation into law on Friday. He will be holding his first primetime presidential address from the White House at 8 this evening to commemorate the anniversary of the COVID-19 shutdown. The Biden administration revises its guidelines to allow indoor nursing home visits, regardless of whether guests or residents have been vaccinated. The new guidance comes as more than 3 million vaccine doses have been administered in nursing homes. The revision is also the latest indication that the pandemic is easing in the U.S. Early in the pandemic, COVID-19 raced through long-term care facilities, killing more than 150,000 residents and employees and accounting for more than a third of all virus deaths. Meantime, Metro says it can avert layoffs and service cutbacks. That's thanks to transit funding included in the American Recovery Plan passed by Congress. The plan provides millions of dollars in relief for the region's transit agencies. Meantime, beginning Sunday, Metro says it will expand service on 59 bus routes. The aim to increase service to 80% of pre-pandemic levels. It's been nearly 7 years since the average price of a gallon of gasoline in Maryland reached the $3 mark. But AAA Mid-Atlantic says we may hit and surpass that soon. On average, Marylanders are paying $2.80 a gallon, which is 32 cents higher than this time last month. John Townsend says the increase is due in part to refineries in Texas that were knocked offline during a winter storm. And he says with COVID-19 restrictions easing, more people are hitting the roads.
At the rate the price of gas is going, which is about a penny a day, It is conceivable that if the trend line continues, then we can see $3 gasoline in the state of Maryland in the next week and a half. And that is disconcerting to motorists because that is a price point that Marylanders have not paid in 7 years. And we know this, that once the price of gas approaches $3 a gallon, people begin to change their driving habits.
Townsend says prices have gone up 75 cents a gallon since Thanksgiving. A police-involved shooting erupted early this morning in Temple Hills. It happened near Branch Avenue and Colebrook Drive. Investigators say someone in a car fired at a police vehicle that was pursuing them. Bullets hit the windshield of the police car. One of the officers in the car returned fire. The car fled into the district. Police say it didn't appear as if anyone in the suspect's car was hit by gunfire. Greenbelt police are on the lookout for a peeping Tom. This man was caught on surveillance video on Tuesday. He was peering inside a home in the 6600 block of Lake Park Drive. A similar incident occurred in the same neighborhood on February 25th. A third incident took place on the 24th in the 6900 block of Hanover Parkway. Anyone with information on these cases is asked to contact police. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. We'll be back in one moment.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future.
I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those two girls.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody.
because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago. I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life. But to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
Welcome back. The Maryland U.S. Attorney's Office establishes a new civil rights unit. Officials say it's in response to an increase in hate crimes as well as disparities made worse by the pandemic. The unit will prosecute hate crimes and address patterns of discrimination in housing, education, healthcare, and employment. An update on coronavirus cases in Maryland. 12 more people have died from the virus, bringing the total to 7,832. Hospitalizations continue to decrease. There are currently 788 hospitalized residents. Meantime, PGCPS is set to bring kids back to class next month, but as we reported yesterday, the teachers union is balking. Union President Teresa Dudley says we are still in the red with the number of COVID cases. She also says she's worried about several factors, including ventilation in buildings.
Many of our school systems are school buildings are hermetically sealed so that you can't open windows for ventilation. There are issues regarding social distancing and how that's going to be managed still when our educators have been told that they need to eat lunch in the classroom with the students.
A University of Maryland senior creates a one-stop shop to help people find vaccine appointments. Matthew Steininger has launched a website called MDVACS and a Twitter alert system. Both monitor online booking portals for the state's hospitals, pharmacies, and vaccine sites. He says he created MDVACS to help his friends and family.
I read a lot of news articles in the past that said how people would have several web pages up on their computer, and they would just keep hitting refresh until an appointment became available, and they were spending hours doing that. And I thought, well, I do have experience solving issues like this when web pages do update and sending alerts on that. So I figured, why not build something to help?
The Twitter system is called MDVACS Alerts. A measure before the Maryland General Assembly would give firefighters and paramedics the right to bear arms and circumvent the normal registration process. Proponents of Senate Bill 826 spoke before a committee yesterday, urging lawmakers to vote in favor of the legislation. Ambulance drivers say they are targets for drug dealers and addicts because the vehicles carry narcotics. First responders say they are exposed to physical and verbal threats, and that carrying a handgun would provide much needed security. The measure has been cross-filed in the House. Parents, mark your calendars. A virtual teen summit that will promote dementia awareness is just 2 days away. The Mount Rose, Maryland chapter of Links Incorporated will host an interactive virtual conference on dementia on March 13th. Local teenagers developed and will run the sessions with more and more adults living with dementia. Organizers say it's important that young people become aware of the problem.
The event will include a very personal journey of a teenager with her grandmother. The teens will learn the signs of dementia, and we will demonstrate the impact of healthy living. We will have a healthy cooking demonstration that will be done by a teenage chef, of course, and there'll be lots of prizes. So just so you know, this isn't Zoom. We have invested in a virtual conference technology. With the help of a grant from the White Rose Foundation. And in that technology, the children will see avatars. They will have a game room to reinforce the learning. It's going to be, again, hosted by teens for teens.
Organizers say County Health Officer Dr. Ernest Carter will be one of the speakers at the event. To register for the Teen Summit, visit mountroselinks.org. Let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 56. Friday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers with a daytime high near 67 and a low around 39. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 54 and a low around 37. Sunday, mostly sunny with a daytime high near 57 and an evening low around 34. And now for the community calendar, the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights is hosting an event in honor of Women's History Month. Join the discussion around the impact of COVID-19 on women. Topics will include issues of vulnerability during the pandemic and the impact of women of color and low-wage workers. The event happens Wednesday, March 24th from 12 noon until 2 p.m. Be sure to register prior to the session. For more information, visit mccr.maryland.gov. And that's your CTV News Update. I'm Keisha Butts. Have a good night.